Among the most popular and best known Irish artists in the west of Ireland are Jack B. Yeats and Paul Henry. Jack B. Yeats was from an old County Sligo family who spent some of his childhood in Sligo with his grandparents and some of his childhood in London. Paul Henry was an artist from Belfast who discovered Achill Island, County Mayo in the early 20th century and lived there with his wife Grace for several years. Yeats is most popularly associated with Sligo, but other pictures in this exhibition show that he also painted in Kerry and Galway, and this is most mysterious and attractive, relatively later work by Yeats, An Atlantic Drive. It's suitable, really, very suitable in this exhibition, the idea of travelling along the west coast. When we first look at it, we see figures and we see a stormy sea behind, and then we realise that perhaps people are travelling by a horse and cart and carriage, with the horseman and ladies on a little pony and trap, travelling on the almost above the sea, almost on the sea. And this really seems to be appropriate for the exhibition, the idea of a journey or pilgrimage along the west coast, right beside the sea. It's painted in Yeats's relatively late style, using palette knife and broad strokes of paint, but somehow very, very vigorous and expressive and mysterious. This exhibition, A Wild Atlantic Way, includes pictures both from public institutions, public galleries, and also from private collections. And there's a wonderful mixture of pictures, both some well-known pictures and some lesser known pictures which haven't been seen by the general public. There is also a very good representation of women artists who played a hugely important part in Irish art in general and in the west of Ireland in particular in the 20th century and 21st centuries. And among the artists included in this exhibition, some rare pictures by Sarah Purser, Letitia Hamilton, Letitia's sister Eva Hamilton, Lillian Davidson, and these are superb pictures. Mary Swansea is better known as a portrait painter, but this is a charming little landscape of Achill, very free and open, painted by Sarah Purser. Other picture, also from Highlanes Gallery, is by Letitia Hamilton of Under the Mountains of Mayo, a very simple little oil sketch of traditional Irish thatched cottages with the mountains behind. Grace Henry, together with her husband Paul Henry, lived in Achill for several years in between the 1910s and during that period, and she also painted country people and landscapes, but I think in a wonderful, colourful, perhaps more lively, decorative way. Here is most original painting of three ladies. It's called Top of the Hill, and three ladies chatting against a mountain landscape with towering clouds and little cottages and a seabird and an island, symbols of the West. But to Grace Henry there's perhaps a more humorous, mischievous quality as well, and a great empathy, curiosity in the lives of the country people, and we would like to almost eavesdrop and find out what they're talking about. But ironically, Grace Henry, after a few years in Achill, while her husband Paul really thrived there, she began to find it quite lonely, and eventually they moved to Dublin, but West of Ireland themes continued in their work during their careers.